There's a quote that says, "Change is hard at the beginning, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end." Establishing a new habit is indeed difficult at first. It never happens frictionlessly from one day to the other, but on the bright side, change becomes easier through time. Consistency and repetition give a new habit strong roots until you reach a point that it almost becomes effortless.
From the top. Okay. Drop that. Yeah. Feel the funk, y'all. Yeah. Feel the funk, y'all. Yeah. You lay back in the cut. What's up? From Alpha to Omega, VHS to Beta, PlayStation to Sega, my skill is still greater. The sickest thing since VD, wicked like VG. Live my life crooked like the left finger on ET. Please believe me.
Training early in the morning is the safest choice if you want to make sure that other things won't get in the way of your workout later on as the day gets more busy.
A mic in front of you spectators.
A 30-minute workout reduces stress and improves brain function, your mood, and your sleep the coming night, providing more energy for the next day. A pretty sweet positive feedback loop, if you think about it.
I'm kicking it with white boys in old navy sweaters. Ball cap low on my eye, cause sometimes I'm listen to my style so much, I'm just trying to get by, I'm just saying. For real, I'm just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanna welcome you all out to a musical extravaganza called the Night and Day Project. Please save your applause till the end. I'm in the AC, cooler than I ever was. I went from bubbling to a better buzz. Hey, check this, cuz I did it with no airplay. Wild out in the lot, well that's hearsay. I'm just trying to do my thing.
The first thing you want to realize when you're trying to build a new habit, such as becoming a morning workout person, is that you can't rely on sheer willpower and motivation in the long run. What you want to do instead is build daily rituals, or routines if ritual sounds too hippie-ish as a word to you, that are made out of small, consistent steps that lead towards your desired behaviors and goals. Maybe this sounds a bit too vague right now, but keep on watching and I'll explain in more detail.
I still want bigger and better things in the sense that
When you first get started with becoming a morning workout person, you will face a great inner battle. This battle is between the ancient part of your brain, the limbic system, also known as the lizard brain, which is that more beige colored area in the middle of this graphic, and the more evolved part, the prefrontal cortex, which is more in the left red area, meaning the front of your head. Now, unless there's a serious threat, the lizard brain will typically direct you towards temporary gratification over long-term happiness, which is more of a job for the prefrontal cortex. In simple words, the worst thing you can do first thing in the morning when you wake up is trust your initial thoughts and instincts, which are mainly manipulated by your lizard brain and will typically gravitate towards comfort and laziness. Instead, you have to teach yourself to listen to that part of you, that inner voice that is based more in the prefrontal cortex, that part of you that wants to better yourself and sees the bigger picture. Now, the bad news is that this part of your brain is really slow, especially during those morning early hours. Think of it as a really slow computer that needs some time to start up properly and boot. And that is why you want to give it simple and easy directions that will get you immediately out of your warm and cozy bed. BJ Fogg, in his book Tiny Habits, calls these starter steps, small moves towards a desired behavior. I like to call them my wake-up ritual, and here's how that looks. The moment the alarm rings, I immediately switch from a lying position to a sitting position at the side of my bed, and I turn off my alarm clock. I get up, set the coffee machine, and I go to the bathroom to wash my face with plenty of water. I dry my face, I grab my cup of coffee, and I set a 10-minute timer and listen to my favorite podcasts as I enjoy my cup of Java. If you're interested in which are my favorite podcasts and what do I listen early in the morning, I'll include my top 3 in the comment section below. All this gives me enough time for my lizard brain to calm down and my prefrontal cortex to boot properly. And I know it sounds simple, but that is the key. It's simple and I do it every single day. Now, over time, I might switch things up a little bit, but the core of my wake-up routine has been pretty much the same the last couple of years. Now, I might switch my podcasts to reading a book or watching a video on productivity, but I make sure that I choose things wisely and I avoid things that might lead me to a rabbit hole of procrastination. So, for example, YouTube can be something like that for a lot of people. A lot of times you start with one video and you just can't stop. Fortunately, I don't have that issue, but whatever the case, everybody has to figure out his own wake-up routine in the end. If mine sounds appealing, you can give it a try, start with that and slowly start adjusting things that are more suitable to you, refine it, and over time create something unique because you're unique as well. The best habit to incorporate in your morning routine after your wake-up ritual is working out. Working out is going to wake you up properly, and the more you get moving after you wake up, the more difficult it is for your lizard brain to lure you back in bed again. If you instead do something more static, for example, if you sit on a couch and read, or sit on your laptop or whatever, that's a lot more easier. That's a more tricky situation that can lead you back in bed, that can make you fall asleep again. But the more you choose something that is pretty active, such as working out, the less possibilities there will be for that to happen. Later on, as waking up early becomes more effortless for you, you can experiment with switching a little bit the order of the habits that you incorporate in your morning routine. For example, I like to start my day after my wake-up ritual to start with writing. So I sit down on my laptop, write for about an hour, and after that is when I train. But everybody has different things he wants to accomplish. So figure out whatever things you want to incorporate, whatever habits you want to incorporate in your morning routine. Start in the beginning with working out, and later on you can optimize things. As in month 1 of my minimalist workout plan, the core of our routine this month will be pretty much the same. And other than Friday, you'll only have a few more extra small changes. If you haven't seen month 1, please start there first. On Mondays and Wednesdays, we'll be doing our sprint workouts, just like last month, with the only difference that we'll be adding an extra sprint and an extra set of push-ups. So if you started with 3 sprints and 3 sets of push-ups last month, it's time to move on to 4. Each sprint should be 20 seconds long with a resting period of 3 to 4 minutes. After about half a minute, I'll walk back down to my starting position, I'll do a set of push-ups, take a few more breaths, and repeat 3 more sets. We'll be making a few changes for our circuit workouts, most of them quite small. Number 1 is that we'll be increasing our resting periods between stations by 2 seconds. As we move into the winter, we'll be adding a bit more of resting time, since our goal is to keep our resting periods relatively short on one hand, but to also be able to catch an extra breath or two in order to focus a bit more on mind-to-muscle connection and getting more reps. Change 2 is that we'll be switching from one-arm rows to pull-ups. If pull-ups are too hard for you, you can also do band-assisted pull-ups. If pull-ups are not an option for you, I also have some easier alternatives and exercises that don't require any special equipment. These are mentioned in more detail in month 1. For those who want some new ideas to switch things up, I'll be also offering some new variations for the rest of the exercises. Here's a quick summary of the circuit and the rest of the changes. Exercise 1 is our heart rate starter, which, as explained in month 1, is an exercise of low intensity that aims at getting your heart rate up without taxing your muscles so much. My top choice here is usually weighted or regular jumping rope, but during this workout I used shadowboxing instead in order to switch things up a bit and to take a little break from my jumping rope. If you've ever done a bit of boxing or MMA, you can also include shadowboxing in your heart rate starter exercise list. Just as last month, the rest of the circuit will alternate from upper to lower to upper body and end with a core exercise. For example, if you can only do a few dips and you want to get better at them, start with those and place your pull-up exercise as the third station of the set. This way, you'll perform your most difficult exercise in the beginning when your upper body is still fresh. A new alternative I've added recently and I like a lot are plyo burpees on a slam ball. You can do these on any ball, such as a soccer ball or a basketball, and what I like is how the ball creates instability and activates your upper body more, especially the shoulders and the abdominals. That was all. In our next video, I'll be sharing with you my new Friday workout of this plan, also called Cardiosthenics. Let me know if you have any other questions. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, like this video, and if you really want to support this channel, click on the share button below to post this video somewhere else. Till next time, keep on training.
Just in time for sunrise.